Do you want to see Respondent payment proof, and do you want to know whether this really is a great way to potentially earn more than $75 per research study you participate in? Then this video is for you. My name is Michael, and I have tested hundreds of different ways to make money online, and many have asked me for a full updated Respondent review, and that's exactly what I will show you in this video. I'll give you an inside look. I will also show you payment proof, show all the pros and the cons, and then you can decide for yourself whether this is the right opportunity for you or not. So let's start by going over who can join Respondent.io, and it is a platform you can potentially join from all countries, but as you will see when we get inside, there are some requirements often for how you can qualify, so we'll talk a little bit more about that when we log in. But you can join basically no matter the country you live in, and it is a platform where you get access to, for example, focus groups and paid research. And as you can see on the website itself, it says on average they pay $75 per study, but some actually pay quite a lot more. I will show you examples of that on the inside. So let me now log in, and then we'll take a closer look at what it offers. So I am now logged into Respondent, and a very important first thing you need to do is to fill out your profile. You see here there are many different things that you can do, and there are certain projects or certain tasks you need to have a work email to be able to apply for. And a work email means like something that's not a Gmail or something like that, but an email that has some kind of domain name in it. Usually you would get something like that if you have a job where you get an email. So some projects require you to have that to apply for them. And then you also need to add your skills. You can add social networks like LinkedIn there, a personal video introduction, a few other things here. It can be great to fill this out because it will increase your chances of getting approved for the different projects. So this is a first good step. But once you've done that, let's then go over the projects you potentially can find here and how to apply for them. So inside, you can scroll down and you can see all the available projects. Currently, as of recording this video, you can see there are 40 projects where I'm located here. That doesn't mean I can apply for all of them, because some of them you can see if I scroll through there are some that are very specific for certain countries, for example, or in general. You see here, if I work as a data steward, then this would be for me. Then I could, for example, earn $80 for this one. You see this one, 125, 150. There's even one here for 200, but you can also see that they are very specific with the different requirements. This one, even $500 you would get for participating in this. And then you can see this would be a one-on-one interview. This one, for example, would be a focus group you could participate in. Another one-on-one there, one-on-one. So you can very easily get an overview of what it is. You can also use the search option or the filter up here to see, like, you want to only do the remote, you want to do the in-person, you want to have a certain compensation and only get to see that, or something that only takes a certain amount of time. If you know you don't want to participate in anything that takes more than an hour, you can just adjust this and then search. And you would then need to click here, and I can't actually click and show you because there are some confidentiality, so I can't like show all the details. But how it works is that you click, you read exactly what is required, and then you can apply for this. So what is important, just because you think you qualify, it doesn't mean that you will necessarily get access to it, because the researcher behind these different projects needs to first of all approve you before you can participate. And it can be quite hard, and that's why I said at first that you can join no matter where you're from, basically. But in some countries it will be very hard to qualify, but a lot of it also depends on, for example, your skills or your experience. And you can see some of them here, you know, they are very specific, like a data steward, for example. There's one here, I believe this is Turkish, so you can see you would need to know Turkish to participate in this. So they are quite limited, and that way it can be hard to find projects you qualify for, even though they have some quite good projects and they do pay quite well. Also, what you need to be aware of, as you can see up here, I have 3 screeners left, and you can apply to projects by taking screeners. So that means, like, to apply, I need to go here, read everything about it. If I think it might be a fit for me, I take the screener. It takes a few minutes usually, sometimes it can be a little bit longer. And then if they approve you, you will get access, but if not, you will just have wasted your screener. And as you can see, you can use 3 screeners within 24 hours. So that means you have 3 times per day where you can apply for different projects. So you can't just go through everything and apply. You need to be critical and only apply for the ones you think you really have a chance of qualifying for. So that can take some patience depending, of course, on your profile and your location. But let's talk about how you can then get paid, and I will just jump to my email inbox and show you a payment proof so you can see that it actually does pay, and then we'll talk about also how you get paid. So I've just jumped to an email, and of course I've blurred out some personal information here, but this is from Respondent, and as you can see, I have been paid $19 here from them, and I have received several payments from it, so I know that it actually does pay. But what you just need to be aware of is that there is a fee. So for example, inside the platform, when you see that, let's say you can earn like $100 for one project, then there is a fee. They charge you $1 when they transfer money to you, or 5% depending on what is the highest. So if you, for example, have like $100 for the task, then you would only receive $95 because they would charge you a 5% fee. So a little bit of a high fee in my personal opinion compared to many other research platforms, but still not too crazy. And usually you would get paid via PayPal once you have had the project approved, because it's not that you just finish it and then you get paid right away. The researcher behind needs to first look through everything and approve everything, and then they will transfer to you. So there's not such a payout threshold. Basically, whenever you have completed some kind of task, they will pay you. And the tasks also do pay quite well. So therefore, there's also not really any point in having a threshold you need to reach to redeem or anything like that. So I do like that they just kind of do that automatically. And usually that will be through PayPal. So that also gives some limitations to which countries you can join from, because if you can't get PayPal in your country, then there is a risk that you cannot get paid. So then of course it doesn't really make sense to participate. But if that is the case, there might be some projects in countries where it's not possible, but then they will write in the project description how you would then get paid. But let's just talk about also overall how much you can earn by participating on Respondent. So on the website, as we talked about earlier, you can see they say that the average study incentive is $75. And I would say that's probably fairly accurate. You saw inside there some pay like $200, some pay $100, some $150, some $50, some $20. So it kind of depends, but the average is around this. But also, if you're lucky and qualify for certain very specific tasks that of course also takes a little bit more effort, then you might be able to earn like $200 or even like $300, $400, $500 for participating. But of course the task for that, they usually requires quite a bit of effort. It's not something you can just do like in an hour or something like that. So that's something you need to be aware of. But the challenge about Respondent is not so much the rewards and the tasks, because I think they are actually quite great. They can be interesting to participate in. They pay well for your time compared to many other platforms, but it can just be hard to qualify. So I know people like that I've talked to, my followers here on my YouTube channel and visitors to my website, that have applied for like a lot of projects over several months, and they just do not qualify. So that's where you can end up spending a lot of time without earning. But that all comes down to your profile and the country you live in. So you can join, you can check it, then go through the projects and see, be critical, is there anything that actually makes sense for you? Because if not, you can end up just wasting time applying and applying and applying without ever actually getting access to any tasks. And that is the big challenge of Respondent. So to sum it all up, Respondent is legit. It actually does pay. I have been paid by it many times, and so have many of my followers here. However, you do need to do it with the right expectations. It definitely does have great rewards, but it can take time and patience to qualify. As an extra platform, I think it can definitely be great. You just need to be willing to also spend the time of filling out your profile, applying, and you need to be willing to accept that you need to potentially apply for a lot of projects before you actually qualify. If you have tried to qualify for projects here yourself, please share your experiences below. How many did you need to apply for before getting approved? Have you been approved? Have you not been approved? And which country do you live in? Please feel free to share that below. That would be great to hear. But if you want to see how to join, I do have a full written review also on my website. At the top of that, you can also find a joining link. I'll leave a link to that below. I also do have a list of the best paid research study websites in general, because I would always recommend that you join more sites than just Respondent, because it is hard to qualify. So by joining more platforms, you get better opportunities. I also will leave a link to that. I have that on my website below. And if you just like to do small, easy surveys where it's easier to qualify, then I do have a list of the best paid survey sites in many different countries. I will also leave a link to that below so you can go and check that out. But no matter what, I hope this video helped you, and if it did, make sure to hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.